And yes, we didn't realize that we were jabbering amongst ourselves and didn't realize that we should have already done this. What am I doing here? I'm missing something. Oh, Ron's here too. Let me get Ron in here. Then let me come back over here. Oh, there it is. And then we're going to do this. Howdy, folks. And as you saw, I was throwing up a few names as and coming in here. And I'm glad to have everybody here. I wanted to give a quick run over, see drone shots in the house, Jody, Mr. Ian Fleming. I wanted to ask you, I was going to type it in the chat when we got started. Where's 007? I'm sure somebody will pick up on that, right? Who wrote all the James Bond?
Ian Fleming, James Bond, yeah.
We get it.
And Zach Key is here. We've only got 5 so far. It says 10 by mine in here. I don't know. We've got Marcus in the house, Idaho quadcopter. Ron Brown's telling everybody hi. Nemo's with us on the panel again tonight. I will roll to them in a moment. And you can see Jim's here with us tonight. He's got a rant to give us. Corey's in the house. Gary Ray. Mel's in the house. 400 AGL. Happy to have you all. Speak amongst yourselves as I introduce us around the room. Let's see if this looks better. Yes, that looks a little bit better. So welcome to Drone Therapy, Season 4, Episode 25. Where are my DJI goggles and other shipping rants or rants in general? Because trust me, we have a few already just on the panel tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it to our normal panel members. Ethan's out tonight as he got called in for MRI duty because, out there in California, things are going crazy again. So he won't be with us tonight. So keep him in your prayers and stay safe, Ethan. And I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Ron Brown.
Thank you, Bill. How is everybody tonight? We've already got a lot of people to chat tonight. I think it's going to be a good show. I can't wait to hear some of these rants from the panel here. I hope everybody's, on the panel doing great. I made a special FPV video for the guys. Gary and John and he's not here tonight, but
I happen to fly FPV too, and I'm on Drone Therapy, but not as much as the other guys. I know.
Yeah. So anyhow, I'm going to pass it to my FPV guru, John Cuppi.
Thank you very much, Ron. I did see that FPV video earlier today, and I got to tell you, you describe an FPV flight like I've never seen anybody before. I loved it. It was awesome. It should be a really great show tonight. We got a hell of a lot of rants to do, so yeah, let's get into them as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and throw it on over to Jim.
Hey, I know there's a lot of rants out there. I know some guys who have ordered drones from one company, canceled them and gotten them on GearBest faster than they've got them. And we'll talk some repair, DJI repair too.
I can legit hear you live.
Is Braden playing?
What's your name?
Gary?
Yes, he is.
Okay, that's what I thought was up. We're going to throw it over to Gary and Mr. Nemo. Yeah, I can see him now. He's still recovering. He looks like he's gained weight. Oh, it's just the beard.
I'm growing it back out.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, back, getting everything back to normal, and I fly FPV. That's Carter. Ron, I loved your video. I loved Art's video. I love seeing that guys getting into it. That coming over from the GPS birds. I think it's great to dabble and get around. And I didn't know tonight was about rants, but I've got a few too.
There we go. All right. Cool. And with that being said, we're glad to have everybody in the house. I can see we got a few more names. Mitch is in the house. SoCal Drones, you're good in the house. We're glad to have you here too, sir. I can see there was another new name I saw and I missed. I'm slow and old. old and slow. Artco, something else. Art put out a rock jam today. Did y'all see that? He went out rock guitars. Wow. So just to let y'all know, we all just don't fly drones. We do other stuff too. And we might go rogue on drone therapy here in the next few weeks. And what I mean by rogue is we're not playing some kind of steadfast show. We're not going to plan some steadfast guest. Now that StreamYard has the ability to get 10 people on the panel, we're just going to go spontaneous for a while. But we're going to keep up with our support your local drone channel once a month, because that's just a cool thing to do. And we could probably, since we can do it with more panel members, we can have more people on the panel as we're calling out more. I can see Stingray Aerial Solutions in the house. I can see Metro Drones is in the house too. Art's calling everybody out. He's saying hi to everybody. Thank you, Art. You're doing a great job there. SoCal saying hi to all. He said, Ron, he specifically said hi to you earlier, letting you know that. Matt, glad to have you in the house too as well. So the reason this comes about is Mr. John Cuppi ordered some DJI goggles from DJI for the Father's Day special. And I would like him to kind of give you a brief description of his shipping load to kind of start things off and give you an idea of what kind of rants we're going to have tonight. And then
get on the server.
Then once he gets done, with his, I'm going to roll into mine. But John's not that upset about his, so I'm going to go to John first.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but I got to say, I don't know where the hell these goggles are. They've been all over the place as far as I'm aware. I mean, they started out in China. They had clearance delays. Then they went to Alaska. Then they went to Japan. I seriously, I don't know what DJI is doing, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on here. They're just all over the place. If I don't get them soon, I'm going to just explode.
I had a feeling he had them. I had a feeling he had them.
Okay, these just came in today at like 5 o'clock. They just
today.
Yes, at 5 o'clock. Bill, when you asked me if they had showed up yet, I said no, they hadn't. They still hadn't shown up. But 5 o'clock, they came up on my doorstep.
UPS?
Yeah, it was FedEx, and Ron, it was a contactless delivery.
Oh, nice.
Exactly. So here we go. That's it.
Sweet.
How do they feel, John?
Need a rig.
They feel great.
We need a rig.
They feel great. I gotta tell you, this is gonna sound weird, but like as a glasses wearer, I love that I can just put these things on and that's it. Boom.
Got the glasses.
Okay, now.
Oh yeah, they're comfortable.
Since you put them on, have you now? It makes you want a rig to put it all in even more, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, man. I got the 2 air units sitting right here. They're just begging to go in a drone now. Sorry if I killed the shipping rant there.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, John's out. John's out.
Up until today, you were literally, the thing about it was up until today, it was all over the place. Right? It was everywhere.
That's right. Yeah.
It had, here, there, everywhere. It literally come to the States, gone back to China, and then come back again.
Yeah, and it went to Japan. Supposedly, maybe went to Japan once, and then to Alaska, and then the tracking was just all over the place. Just
they're putting all that spyware in there.
Was that the worst? Was that the worst shipping delivery you've ever had, or you've had worse?
Oh no, I've had worse actually, Ron. I ordered this little live stream transmitter from Banggood, and after like 50 days, it didn't show up. They had to refund me. That was definitely probably the worst.
Okay.
That was just recently.
Michael Blade is saying hello. DeMarco is, what is DeMarco? He's saying, howdy, Idaho quadcopter. Stingray saying above for a second. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I said I was lost for a second there when John had the goggles on.
Well, yeah. I had asked him, like 2 hours ago. And he's like, no, they're not here.
They weren't. They weren't.
Well, here's
what were they doing in Alaska in the first place?
I don't know. Do you guys want to see the FedEx tracking? Do you guys want to see the crazy FedEx tracking?
Yeah, get up for the story, John.
Yeah, let's put it up.
Bringing that up, my shipping story, which is kind of hilarious, is I ordered a Tiny Hawk Freestyle.
Oh.
From, wasn't it Banggood? I think it was Banggood, yes. Or was it GearBest? Do you remember, John?
Oh, it was Banggood.
It was Banggood. All right. So, and I order it, and I'm waiting. And John's looking into it, and he's watching some of the videos. And he's like, dude, I don't know for sure if that's really going to be that good of a quad. I'm skeptical. So anyway, I'm like, oh, dude, I really want it. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a good quad for me to play with and learn on. And so anyway, like it's supposed to be here. Then I get a notice from Banggood. Oh no, it was refused by customs and returned.
Whoa.
A week and a half later, John Cuppi says, hey, dude, guess what I'm getting to review?
Wow, oh my God.
Tiny Hawk Freestyle. John Cuppi gets the Tiny Hawk Freestyle, and he's like, oh, man, I was so wrong.
That doesn't even sound like water.
Man, you really should have gotten the quad.
Cantaloupe. It sounds like water on our cantaloupe. It's like,
Okay, so that's my
Yeah, kick on.
Does anybody else have a shipping rant before we go on to general drone rants?
Well, look at my tracking. You might as well put my tracking up so you guys can see that this crazy tracking.
So, John, you know Adrian, right? And Adrian Mateo, and he ordered from Banggood too. And it was like 2 months had gone by, and he didn't get his. He canceled the order, went with GearBest, and they had it there within, 2 weeks or something?
It's just hit or miss right now with some of this stuff. It's just crazy. I think I'm sharing my window.
I ordered the BB Palm camera on January 1st, and it didn't get here until the beginning of April.
That's right.
Hanged around China for a while.
All right, so there we go. So I paid for it, the Father's Day sale, which was like $613.
Right.
Well,
So FedEx actually got it a little later than they were supposed to. Package received after FedEx cutoff. So keep in mind they were supposed to receive it faster, or supposed to pick it up more than that. So then it just stayed in China for forever. Clearance in progress. Now here we're in Alaska as of Friday, the June 26th. Then we went from there back to
China. Yeah, we went back to China.
Then we went to Japan.
Oh.
Then from Japan, we went to Tennessee.
And then you had to go visit the king, man. You had to visit.
And then from Tennessee, we went back to Alaska.
And then back to Memphis.
And then back to Tennessee.
And then to Missouri, finally.
And then finally to me. I mean, like this is just crazy messed up.
John, did you get all the air miles that those goggles accumulated?
Can you imagine that?
I wish.
That would be cool.
I wish I did. I tell you what, you know what? I didn't care that it was coming in slow. I mean, I feel grateful to even have them. I got an amazing price on them with that Father's Day sale. I was just worried that if it really was going all over those places, that it could be damaged.
Jim wants to chew on this one, I bet. And the only reason I put this on, I want one that won't fog up my glasses. Like just to go downstairs, I have to put it on. So like basically I just keep it around my neck.
Stingray, one of our good friends, Drone Pool, just shipped his Mavic Air 2 to DJI for a warranty issue, and he got a drone back, and it's been working great. It was a really fast turnaround time.
Like within 2 weeks?
Within like 2 weeks, it was a very fast turnaround time.
It was a complete turnaround, It was 2 weeks.
Look at Ian Fleming's comments, just a couple of comments. Hi, my shipping rate is waiting for an FPV cable. That's a ribbon cable for the Xeno 2. 2 to 3 months to get like a $10 ribbon cable.
I don't know. Something about the Xeno 2 just told me not to get one. I don't know what it was. Oh, something else I wanted to bring up a little bit. This is actually something cool. It goes with the let me go ahead and do.
Oh, is that your mounting bracket?
This goes to the it was made for the Parrot and Offie controller. So I bought it because it's only $10 for the Skydio controller. And I was about ready to throw it away and say, no, I'm going to get rid of it. It's terrible. But I didn't realize that it needed to be flush with the controller itself to get it to latch all the way. But once it latches really hard. And it's even got like a lanyard setting on or placement on there so that you can put it on there and hang on to it. So I was and it's kind of cool because you can do a large tablet and then you can do a phone or a smaller tablet. And I think these have been around for a while. Isn't this similar to what Mikey came up with? Kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, his is a real homemade thing. That's more professional.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. This is made for the parrot Anafi here.
Copy, right. Which is the same. Many people don't know it's the same exact controller as the Scuddy 2 uses. They just rebranded it.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot that.
Let me pull this back down. But anyway, it's like $10. You can find it on Amazon. I think shipping and everything was like $12 to $15. Bob, did you get your T-shirt?
Bob Casey, United We Drone. Did he get his T-shirt?
Because I know it said it shipped. So let me plug my ears back in.
Wait a minute. Marcus says he has one of those connectors, Bill, and he doesn't trust it.
Do what now?
Marcus says, I have one of those, Bill, and I don't trust it. It comes unlatched.
Like I said, you have to push it flush all the way down here. Like, see, here's the deal. Well, shit, I'm going to do this again.
Yeah, show.
For Jim, I can say that about every tablet holder I've ever bought in some way or another.
Okay, you have to get in here and physically push it tight so that it's flush up against. Let me see. Flush up against the bottom. Can you see how it's flush up against the controller itself?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've got to make sure it's pressed as tight as you can get it up against that, and then come straight. You just pull it up.
Oh, okay. That looks like it's in there good, Bill.
No, you can see that it's latched. I'm trying to see it's in
it looks
it looks like it's latched.
But you gotta press it. I was the same way. I was like, oh, this is garbage. I'm gonna throw it away. And then I was like, I started manipulating it. And I was like, well, maybe if I whittle a little bit out here and there. And then I literally figured out that it's not the way it was intended to put it on. Granted, I'm going to give you that much. But you literally will have to fix this section right here. Sorry, this section right here to the back of the controller like this first. It's got to go like this. And then you got to make sure that they're mated really, and you got to push hard and make sure that it's flush here. Just push down and make sure it's hard. And then you just have to bring it all the way across.
Does it snap in at all?
Yeah.
It does. Okay.
Yeah. Here. Let me make it so you can hear it.
When it snaps in, it's hard to get on and off, though. Seems to be the downside.
No, see the lip? It's pretty thick and it's pretty large, so it's just a matter of.
Yeah, you should have.
Right.
It's not like that, but I know it seems like it. It doesn't make that snap because you have to wiggle the top and the bottom in, but it's super, super snug.
I can put mine.
Hey, is that a Tango 2, Bill?
Huh? What? Am I seeing things?
John got it.
Hey, Bill, how about a little mini rant here? Don't these drone companies watch any YouTube channels? Don't they look at all the third-party people selling tablet adapters? Don't they have an idea that, wait a minute, since there's $1 million market for tablet adapters, everybody's doing YouTube videos and shows about them, maybe we should make the controller going forward tablet-friendly. That's my mini rant. Why doesn't anybody over the drone company pay attention to this? The whole tablet adapter phenomenon.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, here, I'm going to tell y'all something straight up. And my biggest issue with these drone companies, very few of the drone companies actually go to people that could give them information from the people that buy drones. Us.
Yeah.
They go to these larger channels that create, forgive me, social media commercials, and some of them don't know jack about drones. They don't know anything, or they're in it to profit from drones. I just want somebody that loves drones as much as me, goes as banana about seeing it up in the air as much as me, like wants to build stuff and figure out what's wrong with it as much as me, but in no way, shape, or form looking to profit. I'd love for all of us to have our own shows and sell bazillions of drones and have nice homes and all this stuff. If it happens, great. But in the meantime, I just like hanging out and talking about drones and sharing with people. And I think part of the problem is not just with them going to these larger channels that are they're just profit margin mechanisms. That's it. They're just there to make money. And that puts me into my other rant about how these companies treat affiliates, because it's like, you're a sled dog and they're putting you out in the front of the team, just smacking that whip going, get out more, 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 get out more. Here's 15 cents. And you're doing all that work, man. You're putting all that effort in. You're making these videos. You're making your scripts, and you're spending all these hours going from site to site to try to put this stuff together. And they give you crumbs.
Bought it for nothing.
What?
Yeah.
Speaking of sharing stuff with people, just want to say, Ron, what do you think of my hat?
It's a beautiful hat, John.
You got an Idaho quadcopter hat? Is that what that is?
Thank you, Ron.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. It's just got it today as well. It was.
Boy, the FedEx guy was good to you today.
Oh
yeah, you're totally out of the shipping conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what shipping.
Wait. Are y'all ready? Should I? Since John's so special. No.
What are you gonna do? What the hell are you gonna do?
I was trying to decide what I was trying to look and see because there's supposed to be like new stuff. Oh no! Here we go. Wait.
No, you're paying for the server. You just made me buy it.
Yes, you're paying for the server. You heard me, didn't you?
You're paying for it.
What is that, like $15?
I love it. I was also lucky with my Tango too, as well. You know how many people waited months for this thing? 3 months. Some people waited 3 months for this thing. I ordered it and I had it in a week because that just happened to be when the second batch of these came in from China. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I really have that.
Well, hey, but the second batch is not necessarily a good thing.
All right, that's true, and that's a sub rant, right?
Yeah. Now we're at the stage of being able to go into other rants.
Yes.
And with that being said, I'm going to turn the floor over to Jim. You want to get that screen ready to share? Or do you just want to tell everybody the story? This is a good one. This is a good one, man.
I want to hear this rant.
This is a good one.
Rants up in here.
You get to a point where you're just disgusted with DJI. This is Bill. I put that page up. I shared that page. This is DJI's pictures. Okay, they're not mine.
No, Zach hasn't picked for a server either.
Now they're showing my aircraft. You do see this is in perfect condition here, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's go 2 pictures over where they say we have to charge you $1,000 because it really looks like this.
What?
This here is called the $552 expansion bay. This here is a $347 battery bay, which they absolutely destroyed when they took apart my drone, Matrice 210, to fix the flight controller board. But in the same, they're showing you the condition they received it in, these idiots. And then they turn around and show you how they destroyed it. Now, the original, okay, if you've been around me, you've heard me.
The company that built the drone in the first place.
Yeah.
And they're just like snapping off things.
Like they're showing like this SD card slot is falling out of the drone. That lays flat. And they're trying to tell me, no, it's in perfect condition. You just, that's how it opens up. Are you kidding me? I've had the thing for 2 years. I know how it opens up. But the complaint is, if you're sending in your drone for repair, you don't expect them to do this kind of damage and then charge you for it. I mean, the condition of the bird that they're showing is obviously not mine. This thing had to have been crashed.
Yeah, this is the refurb they're sending you, and they realized it wasn't a refurb yet.
Well, that's where we're at. They sent me the thing. They want me to pay. It was $3,000, and they knocked it down to $2,500. But the point is, I'm not. I'm not getting a 1 year warranty with this.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I only had 100 flights on the bird. And
What drone is that?
It's a Matrice 210 RTK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A
What?
big bird.
Stuff has changed so much.
This thing, this picture doesn't even jive with the other picture they show you where this is all broken up.
The server, stop toasting it, or
You know what I'm saying? I mean, how many different aircraft are they showing you here?
It looks like they've taken tools and pried everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and look at that arm or whatever. The plastic is all warped off to the right there.
Yes.
Well, what I'm seeing is all kind of scuff marks from where they've tried to wedge like a flathead screwdriver in there trying to open it up.
That's like it's not even flush. How do they take a picture like that and not even realize the plastic is not flush?
And then if they take the picture of what it looked like when it got there, immaculate, almost brand new.
This is what it looked like when it got there. Yeah. And then you turn around and take that, and 2 pictures later, you show me this is what we have to repair on your bird. Well, how did that happen, boy? And here's what they keep saying. This sticker number is yours. And I keep telling them, I don't give a damn what the sticker number says. This here ain't my flight controller number.
I like the hatching eggs and stuff. That was fun.
This part here is the sticker number, and all this says is missing.
You can breed 2 alphas and
One MISSING, missing serial number. But this is the actual flight controller serial number, which tells you it's not mine. But what they say is that they had to replace the flight controller, which was the problem in the first place. And while they were doing that, gee, I guess we're sorry we destroyed your bird, and you have to pay an extra $1,000 for this here stuff to be fixed.
Oh my God! What? So I got to ask you, because here's the deal: they've got your drone hostage.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I got it from Rocky Mountain Unmanned Systems, and they're of little or no help to me at this point. There's been 87,000 emails. Anything in red is from them. And it just goes on to what was the last one today? It's pretty much like you're out of luck. Pay the $2,500.
You know what I would do if I was you, to get my damn drone back, because obviously they're never going to send it back unless you pay. I'd probably use a credit card or something with like strong protection if you got an Amex or something, and then whack them with an appropriate kind of charge back for doing what they did to it, because that's ridiculous.
I want to break in just for a moment and say, Herman, I'm happy to have you in the house, my friend. I want you to heal fast, and I'm sorry that you're in worse pain today, and I hope the pain goes away quickly, my friend. Glad to have you in the house with us.
What happened to Herman?
Herman had reconstructive surgery done on his ankle, so he's going to be down for a while. Quite a while. So please keep him in your thoughts, man.
Here's what they sent. I was showing Bill before the show.
All right, hang on. Yeah, go for it. I'm trying not to
this one.
see. I'm trying not to mash. I'm trying to show people's names, but see what happens is. Wait a minute. Let me do this.
They're trying to say that the main controller is your flight controller, so they call it an MC.
See, I end up covering up Ron.
Okay, the MC.
The main controller was replaced with a test board, right? And function was regained with limitations. The expansion bay, which we friggin' destroyed, would not start the binding process with our testing board in there. The expansion bay was replaced. That's the $552 one, and we regained binding. Using the 2 pairs of batteries, the compartment would not eject any of the batteries. Gee, I wonder why. You saw it all broken up, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
The springs are faulty and will eventually give out, so we're going to charge you for that too. That's why the 2 modules are faulty, and there's your extra. But this is something I got today, which I've been bitching about the whole time, saying, look, you're showing pictures of what you say is my bird. One picture shows it in perfect condition, and then 2 frames later, you're showing where it's destroyed. you're not taking any responsibility. I have an actual video of when I filmed it, packaging it, sending it to them. In its original packaging, for God's sake.
You don't need to know anything about my
He's gone above and beyond with this. Herman, see what Herman's saying? Put it on. He's done that. He's put it on Twitter. He's griped everywhere. It's not getting any pull.
You only played on one.
It's on their forum pages. The video of the condition of my bird. It's on Twitter. It's on DJI forums. They don't care anymore. They lowered the price from $3,000 to $24.90 and said just what I showed you. That's it.
Well, that was the other discussion you and I had about I was thinking that DJI was doing really great with me on the batteries, and they were going to ship them out to me. And then her name was Apple, or his name was Apple, whatever name they had picked, that was talking to me. And they said, okay, I need your shipping address. I need your proper shipping address, all this stuff and everything. And then they said, this will be the last time I contact you. You will be contacted by the technicians if they need any more information, and that was it. And then I got an email today saying, is it resolved? And I'm like, nobody's told me anything. So I don't know if I'm getting new batteries. I don't know if I'm out on the limb.
Wait, what?
I don't know what the deal is. And so I looked in the email. And so down below where it said to click to do the survey, it says, if your situation is not resolved, reply directly to this email, to which I typed in, this is not resolved. Send.
Well, what I ask is if you're changing now, we don't even know if they're going to send me back the same bird, right? I may get someone else's aircraft, and we're all open to that. That's for when either enterprise or not, you're all open to that. But shouldn't they give us a 1-year extension warranty?
You see what Bob's telling you?
Yeah.
He said, don't take your drone to that place anymore.
But it's the only place you can get the flight controller board replaced. I tried DroneWorks. I tried Drone Nerds. Nobody can replace the actual flight controller board. You got to remember, this thing was 8,000 feet away and shut down for 5 minutes. I didn't know where it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. So here's another one. So Jim got out a lot there, and Herman was talking about. He said you got to put that in your story, and he has. Herman, he's put it on Facebook. He's put it in groups. He's put it in forums. He's put it on Twitter, and it's just getting no leverage.
They don't care.
It's not picking up. Well, it's not just that. It doesn't seem to be grabbing hold. I guess maybe because it's a Matrice. If it was like a Mavic Air 2, people would be going bananas, right?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Most people don't even know what a Matrice is, so that's the problem.
All right. The only reason I had to buy the Matrice, Ron, instead of my Inspire Pros is because when I get near live electrical power lines, those birds just go crazy.
Really?
So the Matrice is EMI electrically shielded, plus it's an IP43. It can handle a little rain. Mm-hmm. And so, I can get, even though I've got a Zenmuse Z30, 30 times optical camera, I can get up close to these power lines. And I get contracts for this kind of work.
Right.
But to be treated like this, it's just, it's beyond unfair.
It's unacceptable, and I don't think anybody's rant's going to top your rant tonight, because this is totally unacceptable. You're using this drone for a business professional manner. I mean, anybody that buys this drone can probably use business, and they should respect the fact that the people using this drone, it's their living. They depend on it, and it can be prioritized.
Well, I got
my enterprise dealer was no help.
Oh well.
They just said,
who was your enterprise dealer?
Rocky Mountain Unmanned Systems out of Centerville, Utah.
Okay.
Do they sell enough units that they should have some pull with DJI?
They say on their website they've sold over 2,000 units, and they sell to public safety and the government and all that. So, I thought I was buying from a place that would fight for you.
You turn down the music one.
And I'm so sorry to hear that. That's just unbelievable. Yeah. And stories like that, I don't know. I've always had this love and hate relationship with DJI. At one point, I hated them, and then I got the Mavic, and I loved it. And then, like months ago, I was hating them, and now I've got their goggles. So it's like
adult only on here.
I go
you should threaten if you're going to buy that new parent enterprise made in the USA drone and
that's a whole nother rant, Ron.
That's $7,000 for
that was my
32
lead in. Because did anybody get to watch that yesterday? Because Parrot ripped DJI a new ass.
Hey, well,
here's the deal. They started out pointing out that DJI went through some testing. And in that testing, there was no native DJI software that was supposedly leaking data. Okay. There was, however, some third-party code that was apparently leaking some data that was conspicuously removed quietly, which I'm pretty much sure Windows doesn't tell us every time they take out a line of code. True. So I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Apple does.
But anyway, it was still, the code was taken out. But the situation is we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 tests with a very limited amount of testing of people. And also, they didn't give up the code to what are you trying to take pictures of? Wait, smart ass. Everybody quick.
No, you were just saying about Windows, and I was like, Apple doesn't do that.
Yeah, Neva's got that.
Hey, Gary, are you looking? Gary, are you looking closely?
Is that the S20?
I'm trying to take pictures of my beautiful stuff. Yeah, I got goggles on. Is what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm Batman now.
But what they did was, and everybody knows me. I'm a DJI fanboy from way back. So, but I'm going to call it like it is. DJI didn't give up enough code so that they could really verify that data wasn't being sent somewhere, and they limited what testing was allowed. So, yes, it was right for Parrot to call that into the light and go, well, they did have some testing done, but would you really call this testing? Here's what they allowed to be done. And some people are coming out and getting on shows and saying, oh, it was a bunch of horse manure. It was horse hockey. It was not. It was true. They only had 4 or 5 tests done on their code, and they did not release enough of their native code to verify that data wasn't being sent somewhere. There were some suspicious signals, but there wasn't enough to verify that it was going on. So, yes, there was no data leak. That's what they were going on. And they only wanted a few selective companies to do the tests and put out the data instead of like where Altel or Parrot, for example, basically releases their code to security agencies to look for data breaches for not just then, but in the future so that they can avoid them. That was the issue. All the other companies are willing to say, here's our code, here's how our drones run. Is there a data breach? DJI was like, here's a little bit of our code, and we only want these 2 companies to test it. That's actually what happened. So people can get upset about that. Bill said horse hockey. Yeah, I did. Okay. I think Gary has a rant, too. Gary,
what's your rant? I want to hear
it. Yeah.
Just as long as he doesn't say horse hockey.
He can say bullpucky.
My rant is about FPV guys flying in no-fly zones.
Ooh.
Not checking to know where they're going and blatantly just breaking the law. And then when someone calls them out, they get mad. They start calling them names, or they make a video saying that, why, oh God, why did this happen? And it's just like, you're breaking the law. It's illegal. Don't do it. All right, I'm done.
No, that's a good one because we had a dear friend that I myself noticed put up a video, and he's even showing in the video, the bow tie around the airport, and he's saying, and I'm flying through that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that, man. You know?
These people
I saw
know,
one the other day flying over traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, they know it's illegal. They know that. They know that. They know it. They know it. They know it. But they want the YouTube views and they want this and that, and it's pathetic. I can't stand that.
And that's part of the issue is that people like DJI and your bigger FPV channels, they go to the channels that create the conspiracy. They go to the channels that that make up the that say, oh yeah, even though I know I shouldn't be drinking and flying, I'm going to still talk about drinking and flying, even though I know I'll never do it and I shouldn't do it. But everybody thinks it's cool because then I'm a rebel.
Exactly. That they want that rebel persona, and it's just like it's to me it's childish.
I get it. We're just boring. I'm sorry. We're just happy to be boring.
Doesn't it seem like that? I mean, some of these guys put out some great work. They edit, they spend their time going out to beautiful places, and they get no views. You put up a video with the word crash in it, you'll get 1 million views.
No. Melted batteries. Okay, here's the thing. I want to tell y'all this. Everybody knows me, man. I'm not going to. Yes, if I got melted batteries, and I think it's you know why? Because Bill's telling the truth, and he's got the evidence to show you he's got melted batteries. So damn Skippy, I'm going to be excited. And he was like, "Oh, you're almost excited because you had melted batteries." I'm like, yeah, because I have something legitimate to share with people, a concern I have. To this day, I'm still concerned about the DJI Fly app. I really am. And I think that's part of the reason we haven't seen it appear on the smart controller yet. There's some issues going on. So I'm going to put in shipping on your name again. But
I don't have the smart controller, but is that also the same as the Crystal Sky? It's run on Android 5.1.
I don't have one. Ron,
you got one?
It is run on Android, Jim, but I don't know the exact version.
Fire that bad boy up and let us tell.
Okay, I will. I'm going to get it out right now. We're going to test. We're going to put that to the test.
Yeah, we can find out what it's on there. I don't know how many. I don't think it's got as many. What do they call nits as?
I think
the 1,000
has 1,000 nits.
Yeah, it should have 1,000.
So
what is it? What's a net?
It's candle power.
It's this little bug, and they're in the screen, and they light it up like you wouldn't believe.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
It had something to do with like clarity, like if you got sun shining on you, if there's sunlight shining on you, and you got like something with a high nit on it, you could actually still see it. Is that right or wrong?
Somebody Google.
I don't understand it completely.
Like the gadget star power.
Hey Ron, I'll give you some advice when you're flying that brush quad. Fly it in level mode.
Okay, what is level mode?
Level is where it's not horizon, because you were saying there was one between angle. I think I gotta call it angle, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I know I used the word acro, and then I used another word. I think I called it. I don't know what I said. I said acro. I don't know what I said.
Angle's in between.
Okay.
No, horizon's in between.
Yeah.
You want a mode that's going to prevent you from flipping, no matter how.
Yeah. I got to tell you this right now. Here's the one that's going to scare you right now. Every FPV pilot has a different lingo. It's almost like different sex will have a different language. Some people. The reason I want to say it is, what's the different name other than horizon and angle? There's like 2 or 3 different names for each one of those, and some pilots will call it angle mode, and then some pilots will call it another mode. Some pilots will call it horizon mode, and then some will name it this. And I can't remember them because it seems like FPV has alternate terms for about everything. It's like, you get what I'm saying?
Acro is not a mode.
Yeah, acro is actually not a mode. He's right.
It's no mode.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry that
actually, it's what air mode's not technically a mode, right? Because it's just what keeps the prop spinning.
Yeah.
So when you enable air mode, it's not technically a mode.
So why is it called mode?
I don't know, but
So let's just change it. We'll call it air a la mode.
But they have that for people that are afraid to land, and when they land, they bounce, so they can turn that air mode off.
Did anybody see Steele fly that $16 million home today?
No.
Oh, wait.
He was sweating. What version?
Can I interject the FPV conversation for a second? We've Android version 7.1.2.
Wow.
How many nits?
I don't know where to look at it, but I know it's 1,000 nits.
Start counting.
It's 1,000
You
nits.
can't be nitless.
iPhone, which is up to 500 nits, it goes down to 800 nits. So this is a consistent 1,000 nits. Again, rather my iPhone, who only goes above 1,000 when it thinks it needs to.
It's gonna be
800, that's bad. I would say you better start getting that nixed out and get rid of that stuff.
Ron, you can't be nitless.
Are those big nits or little nits?
Yeah.
Well, these are your garden variety nits.
They're the better to see you with nits.
My head is getting itchy all right now. You know, I'm not putting on these goggles with all these nits around here.
That's like nits on the net.
Okay,
Well,
we've worn that one out.
We call this the knit show.
That's right.
He was
The
saying,
knit show.
That is interesting, though.
12. What is the Crystal Sky? 15?
1,000.
I don't know. I've never had a Jim.
1,000.
Okay, so the same. Okay.
Ron! Sorry, I just had to do that.
What the hell did you
What size screen is the Crystal Sky, Jim?
They have a 5.5, and I have the 8.75. But they also have an ultra bright, which is 2,000. That's overboard.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing the size of this screen is close to that 5-inch one. Yeah.
And I'll bet you see that in the bright sunlight, no problem.
Right. I can go out at 12 o'clock in bright sunlight and still see, all the numbers and stuff like that. Yeah. That's what makes it worth it.
You not like lag a little bit?
Exactly.
Hey, I googled.
Wait. How about this? I got the new T-shirt. Hey, nice knits.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Hey, nice.
Hey, I never saw this on here before. What can you see at the bottom?
Let me see.
This bottom here, is it FPV Live?
Oh.
I've never seen that in a smart controller before.
Is that knit or nittyless?
See now that smart
It
controller
says
actually.
FPV Fly.
FPV Live. I wonder what that does.
FPV Live. Wow.
Yeah, I've never saw that on here. It said allow FPV Live to access your photos, video, and files.
And your bank account. Yeah.
Well, I know that the DJI goggles and the smart controller were recently updated to be able to interface with each other. So
This is for having DJI goggles.
That's probably what it's for. It's to connect those goggles.
It says live system for goggles feed.
See, and honestly, if I pick up a Mavic Air 2 in the future, and I saw that that smart controller went down to like $500, right?
I don't like either.
And on the refurb store, it's $599.
$599, yeah, that's still pretty damn steep. But that is the only way I would ever, be able to fly my DJI stuff with these goggles. But
wow.
It is cool that you could do that.
Wow.
I'm so proud.
We got a lot of good information out there.
I'm still hung. I'm hung on nits, man.
I think it's right there.
I've still got nits on the brain.
I'm surprised at that 7.1.
How many nits does your equipment have?
How many nits does it take to dive a building in downtown Winston-Salem? How many nits does it take?
Is that the new code? I heard that was
You gotta have some big nits to do that.
You gotta have some big nits, right?
That's the new code, man. How many nits?
It was this big.
Center of it.
You need some big nits to rip, right?
I heard that there's a special street that if you go down in Charlotte, you go down and you pull over to the corner, and you go up to the lady and she leans in the window. The code, how many nits does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? And it's only $35.95 after Father's Day special.
And 10 free nits if you go today.
John, you look stunned.
I don't even
I'm
know
thinking
what
of that already on a T-shirt. If you had just a picture of a smart controller and then say "nice nits" across the top.
Now that's a good idea. You need to get on that.
You may not be able to go to a finer restaurant with that
Hey,
t-shirt.
nice nits. That's why I said that earlier. That's why
You don't have merch, Jim. You need to get on that. Above the John Jones merch. Start the store right now.
Here you go.
Shirt.
How about this? It would be a
show
smart,
me your nits.
Yeah.
but like this. We'd have to do it like this, so that the controller was like this. I mean, I'm not trying to be sexist completely. I'm just trying to be,
That's that. Then what the hell is this? What do you make of this?
There you go. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. We got to accentuate the knobs, even though that's not what we're going for.
Hey, I have seen some gimbal guards that actually look like
Areolas? Is that what you're going to say?
oh
Look
no,
like
they
nits.
look,
They look like nits.
breast.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Did I come in too hard with that?
Wait. Did you all see what Corey came up with?
Rate my nits.
That's
Great. I just said that out loud, so now there can be a soundbite of it.
Hey, Bill, look at Michael Wright's comments. He says, I believe the SM is 1,200 nits. What is the SM?
I don't know. I saw that earlier. I put it up.
Hey, Mike. What do you mean by SM? We're dumb here. We don't know the abbreviation.
I don't know what SM means either.
Maybe he just meant smart controller. SM. I don't know.
He'll get back to us.
Okay. Oh man, we were on a roll there for a minute.
Oh man, we nits as far as you can go with it.
I need oxygen. We pulled a Mikey moment, guys. Give it back.
Right. Yeah.
For the love of God.
If Mikey's watching this, he'll say, "Darn, I should keep up with that nits routine."
Oh my God! Wait! Look at Brian.
Ass, grass, or nits. Nobody flies for free.
Oh, hey, you got to say smart controller. Okay. Oh, okay.
Say that if she's in the room, Dan. Well, wait, ass, grass, or nits. Nobody flies for free.
Oh, why does it do that?
I fly for free.
Well, I guess you give up plenty of nit, don't you?
You nitty freak.
Oh my God, that's it. Hey, nice nits, and on the back of your shirt says, "I give nit for free."
Oh my God.
Here is what the Crystal Sky says.
Everybody's already changed their subject.
Now we're gonna get the actual facts.
He meant the smart controller has 1,000 nits, just like Crystal Sky.
Okay, and the ultra brightness one has 2,000.
Wow.
That's a hell of a lot.
Is that Crystal Sky?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the smart controller has the same screen. Remember when they first came out with that Phantom 4 Plus, which had the screen? Yeah.
Yes. And that's the same 1,000 nits?
Yes.
Okay.
I looked up nit. It says the egg of a louse or other parasitic insect.
Well, that definitely applies here.
Is that like crabs? You caught that.
Hey, Bill, did you say this was the show where we just go, or was that next week?
Well, no.
We're supposed to be talking about shipping rants. That's what the whole subject is.
This show was rants, period. And I brought up before we got started because John and I were talking about
where were my goggles?
What a pain in the ass it is that because we'll try to figure out like some subject for the show, and it especially when it's revolving around drones, we all end up having the same news or the same guests on a lot of times because a lot of us all run kind of in the same cliques. So what we were trying to say by going rogue is that we'll go off of subjects that pop up in the chat or something fresh that somebody on the panel might be coming up with. And now, since StreamYard will accept as many as 10 people on the panel at once, we can bring more people in, get more stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Whoever knew this would take us down the road talking about nits.
I know, right?
So really, I'm
I had
trying to.
nits on the brain before we even got started, man.
What actually is it related to? Is it related to a screen?
It's the brightness. It's the luminance.
Okay, ready? Are you ready? I got another one. Are those real new nits or refurbished nits? Refurbished smart control.
Yeah. Am I getting somebody else's nits?
There we go. Yeah. Who's been playing with my nits?
Now, John, do you know how many nits the DJI goggles have in them?
It's a good question. I have no idea.
Can you check the box?
Do your goggle nits equal his smart controller nits?
Yeah, who has more nits?
Let's talk nit for nit.
Yeah.
I gotta say, all these puns are really nitty.
Man. Whose nits last longer?
I don't know. The Crystal Sky's got a separate battery.
Can you shave off a little nit and go a little bit longer? Or does it really matter?
Hey, I actually found the definition.
Okay, here we go.
A nit is a measurement of how much light the TV screen sends to your eyes within a given area. One more technical level, a nit is the amount of light input equal to one candela per square meter.
Okay.
And it gives like a little formula.
Candelabra.
So yeah, it's related to brightness.
Thank you, Professor Nemo, for that excellent explanation.
You go to the head of class.
That's right.
You got some bright nitties.
He's the best. Now, all right. Now you're class clown. You just got an F.
Now, John, did you find nits on that box yet?
I'm looking.
All right, now we're sorry, Mr. Nemo, but you have to come up front and sit on the stool, put the knit hat on.
What's Corey saying? You can output the DJI FPV HD feed out of the smart controller. Only way to get video feed out, which is preventing race directors from viewing video. Well, don't they usually have the HDMI connector that I just hooked mine up to?
It does. I think it's it's right there on the top, if you can see it. It's a full size HDMI connector.
Right.
And the other side is a standard USB-A, but this side is the full size HDMI. So you would think you could get it out wired also
to a monitor, right?
Yeah, I've never tried it, but you would think so.
I've tried it on the Crystal Sky and it works.
Worked well. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I was gonna say, so I guess the thing is with these, there is no HDMI port on it. There's just a USB-C.
Show me your nits.
Hey Jim, can you find them? Can you find either the Inspire or the Matrice with the smart controller?
No.
Okay, it's only some consumer drones.
It's not very smart then.
Only the Sendence remote controller.
Okay.
And for that Matrice 300, they came up with an enterprise edition of the smart controller.
Of course they did. and it cost only, drum roll, how much?
Oh, I think it's like 1,300. I'm not sure though.
So at least double the price.
Nits gone wild.
Nemo, I've got a rant that you're gonna love, and you're gonna be like, I hate DJI. You know, I can't use these until I activate them with DJI Assistant 2 on the PC. So you can't just take them out of the box. The DJI mothership has to say you're good to go. Won't
exactly.
Oh my God!
So they can
what's that got to do with goggles?
They have square nits.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they actually want me to hook this up to the computer and activate them so they can, put their 5G spying software in there and get pictures of my nits while I'm naked.
Get some nitty pictures.
No, but in all seriousness, though, I thought that was kind of an. I knew that you were gonna have to put up with something like that. But
That's
yeah,
your nitty pictures, man.
you got to activate them. You got to activate them on
Nitty
PC.
pictures carry drone therapy.
At least, as far as I'm aware, though, once you're activated and done, it has no connection to DJI. But I'm sure some people will debate that.
So why do you have to connect to them in the first place?
I don't know.
See,
I don't
Jim,
know.
the voice of reason, Jim. Thank you.
It's not.
I don't know. It's really annoying.
I mean, you could use that on an FPV drone that has nothing to do with DJI.
That's right. And these out in the field have got no downlink to an app or nothing. I mean, you don't have to unlock nothing. You better connect to a PC and do this activation once because, you can't use them.
Get it.
Okay,
The
but
mothership at DJI in China has to say, these have been blessed. You can now use them.
the mothership ain't in China. Don't kid yourself, man. It's out there.
Or, I guess what should I do? Should I activate them while they're on my face? And what do you guys think will happen? You think something might get transmitted to my brain when I do the activation?
The waves that it produces might affect your brain, so you might want to be careful. There's a video out there about
Wait a minute. We're all wearing glasses. You may go blind.
Or they may cure his vision issues.
I heard if you mess with your nits too much that you will go blind.
I heard that too.
So
then I'm not going to.
There actually is a video out there.
Shoot your knit out.
Never play with another man's nits.
Yeah.
Never do that. At least not in public.
I thought this show was all inclusive, Bill.
Huh? What? I'm sorry. I told you I had nits on the brain since we got there, man. I can't get out of Nitville.
Hey, Bill, let me I got my rant. I got a mini rant.
Okay,
Mini rant. All right, let's
FPV mini rant. You guys ready? The problem with FPV flying is Sunday I spent more time getting the goggles out and getting them synced to the drone and getting the jumper out and getting it synced and whatever. So I spent all this time in setup to fly 3 minutes.
Ooh, yeah.
And I would have crashed in under 3.
Well, no, the flight didn't end per se. It ended because I crashed into the fence. And 2 props flew off, and 1 prop somehow flew on the other side of the fence. And then took 10 minutes to recover that prop, and by that time it was hot out. I was done for the day or whatever. But and the whole flight was you told me about flying in mode. My whole flight was just avoiding things. It wasn't like I didn't do one maneuver or anything. Except the only maneuver I did. Okay, miss this, miss that, miss the garage. Don't go to the next. Don't fly in the tree. Everything was just survival.
That's the way it is when you start, Ron.
you know what? That's
the way it is for everybody, man.
That's the way it is when you start, and that's the way it is as well, just in general, if you fly hard. I mean, I can't tell you how much time I've probably spent trying to find a prop in the grass, trying to get my drone out of a tree. You charge up 10 batteries, you're ready to go. First pack out. Oh, geez, you get stuck in the tree. Now you've turned an afternoon of flying into, well, how long is it going to take me to get this thing out of the damn tree? How am I going to do it? You could spend hours doing that depending on what's going on.
Now, John, I have in the past, I have gone to the middle of the football field where there's nothing within 100 yards of me, and that's a lot easier flying because the only thing you have to do is concentrate not hitting the ground because there's nothing else to hit. You know what I mean? Because it won't go as far as the nearest object. It'll fall out of the sky before it gets to the nearest object. So that's kind of more fun in one way, but less challenging, I guess.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, it's nice to just cruise, but I like to have some obstacles around. I like to have some trees. I like to have some stuff to go through. It's one of the reasons I do like flying at parks with little micros like this, because there's a lot of little places you can go with quad like this. You got little pavilions and all that fun stuff.
And you can see it when you crash it.
Yep.
In my case, yeah.
Why does it not let me install Minecraft?
Sometimes you can hear it when it crashes.
I think I heard my crash Sunday because it was only like 5 feet away from where I was sitting.
Yeah, you know what? You talk about trying to find the props, Ron. One time, I was doing an inverted yaw spin with one of my whoops, and one of the props on whoops just love to come off. They just.
Well, why is that, John? Why is that?
I don't know. It has something to do with the shaft. So this is actually the prop that fell off. And I looked for this prop and couldn't find it. It ended up literally off to the side of my house. Now, I was in the backyard. And this thing flew off to the side of my house. It was literally up against freaking fence. Just crazy.
Is that a push-on?
Yeah, it's a push-on, and that's really why. It's a lot of them
that's like the Tello. Try and find a Tello one that's flown off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, these my props are like John's. They were a bright color, so they were easy to see in the grass and the weeds because they were a real bright color. They were a real bright red.
There is a tip that someone once said to me, and they said at least on props like this, you try to use some floss to help keep the prop on.
Oh, really?
That's a tip. Yep, you can use floss to keep some move props on. I'm going to try that.
Good tip. And why I didn't get it recorded, John, is I have my does have a DVR and memory card built into the goggles. But what happened is I hit when I was like hit the start button, I was already recording, so I hit the stop button. And then when I ended, I hit the button. I started video, so I have the only the drone sitting on the table because I thought I was recording when I wasn't recording, but that's how
I got you.
That's probably
I didn't say the end of that video, and I commented a little too early, but now I know. Hey Ron, I would love to see a DVR of your flight next time. Can you do that for us?
Well, hopefully this weekend I can get another session in. And
all right.
Maybe instead of 3 minutes, maybe I have 3 batteries, so maybe I can get 9-minute session in.
Yeah, and like Nemo said, just fly in angle mode. That's the stabilized mode that you won't be able to flip it. You won't be able to do anything crazy. It'd be just like flying a toy drone without altitude hold. That's what angle mode is.
So I'll have my 6-axis stabilization.
Exactly. I'll have the 6-axis stabilization.
And I started on toy drones, so I know exactly how to fly. John, I started like you. I started before there was altitude hold. I started before there was headless mode. I started before there was one key to return home. I flew when it was nothing except just fly it.
Right, exactly. So, and honestly, it's even easier to fly FPV angle mode because you're looking at it straight. You don't have to worry about your orientation. I mean,
right. I don't have to worry about if I get disoriented up there. Yeah,
that's right. You're just looking straight ahead. I mean, it's really not that hard. Some people get so intimidated by doing FPV, but there are so many ways to jump into it. You don't have to go all acro right away. You can grab a whoop, fly. Ron, 90% of the time, if I'm flying in the house, I fly angle mode. I don't fly acro mode on a whoop in the house.
I always fly angle mode inside.
Inside, yeah, that's pretty much how almost anybody really is flying a whoop indoors. You have angle mode, and some people
especially with the brush motors.
Oh yeah,
you want to those because if you do rolls and flips, it's really hard for them to pull out of it. So it's basically it's like a racer.
I actually had posted in one of the groups once about hitting gates, and someone told me, don't be trying to do that in acro mode, man. Go stabilized. Everyone flies whoops pretty much stabilized indoors, unless it's a big area. Don't try to be going all acro. It's just not a good idea.
Well, the only time I was doing flips, John, is when I was flipping into the fence in the crash.
Well, you know what they say, Nemo, right? If you're not crashing, you're not flying. Isn't that right?
That gives me some
see what Robert said?
the first one to crash.
Robert, good one. You're not crashing, you're not flying.
Robert was telling you that you were flying with the Wright brothers there, Ron.
Oh, okay. You mean the inventors of the airplane?
Yeah. But I'm glad you all brought that up because it reminded me of another rant. And I have been talking back and forth with John and Ethan and a couple other of our friends. If Skydio doesn't do something about giving up some manual controls for that camera, then I know I said I didn't want to get rid of it because it was an American bird and everything, but I don't want to fly an action camera because action cameras are going to catch up with drones very quickly, and you're not going to need it to be on a damn drone. So unless Skydio decides they're going to open up, because no offense, I'm tired of that GoPro profile that's really blowing out the greens for me. You know, it's just, to me, it's pushing the greens way too far. Personally, I've come to myself to realize that a good drone, the first thing that you're going to know and tell by a drone being good or not is the drone's going to take good pictures. So that tells you if a drone's good or not. If it takes good pictures, then the video is going to follow right behind it. That's the way I see it. And so I may sell my Skydio is what I'm saying. I may go ahead and break down and sell my Skydio because I don't want a $1,100 action camera.
Good. Sell the Skydio and buy FPV stuff.
Well, okay.
Right,
here's the thing. I would love to jump into all of that, but I have problems with motion sickness sometimes. So some days I can fly FPV and it doesn't bother me at all. Sometimes I can put the goggles on and in like a minute and a half, it's like, and I got to take them off. So I don't want to spend all that money. It's kind of like the Skydio. I was really praying and not praying. I was hoping that they would open more of the video settings and the settings so that we could take better pictures and better video and not have it so saturated. You know, more cinematic in its look. I mean, I'm happy about the tracking and stuff. That's all wonderful. But at the end of the day, that's just admitting that it's an $1,100 action camera in the air. And really, truthfully, none of us want to spend $1,100 on an action camera. You know, especially when, you know, the Osmo Action and now with, you know, the new GoPro, they're almost obsolete on a camera, you know, on a drone. And eventually they're going to get to the point to where we're going to have really, really good stabilized video. I mean, what is the name of that the software? Real Steady, that you can take GoPro footage and run it through that, and it basically looks like it's on a gimbal.
Hey, speaking of that, Nemo, you should talk about what you're planning to do with the GoPro case from Beta FPV.
But anyway, if they don't, in the next firmware update, at the most 2 firmware updates, I'm selling it. I don't know what I'm going to buy next. I may buy like I know what, the Tiny Hawk Freestyle. No, I want the Tiny Hawk 2 race. That's what I want. All right, Nemo, what are you going to do with the GoPro case?
I'm going to buy a Hero 6 and I'm going to decase it.
He's going to bust it open.
Bust it open. A perfectly good GoPro. And I'm going to put it on a 85 millimeter Beta FPV frame that's flipped over. And I'm going to fly it and make videos.
We get some awesome video, huh? Hero 6.
Yeah.
Why did they stop making the Session? Why couldn't you have a Session 8?
I don't know. That's a lot of FPV guys they really were upset about that. I mean,
GoPro says it didn't sell well. That's it. That was the answer. It was not a good seller.
I guess only FPV guys bought it.
Yeah.
And a lot of FPV guys wrecked them and sent them back to Best Buy too.
I have a Session 5 somewhere, but I never use it.
Are you speaking from experience, John, or do you just know some of those?
No, I always flew where I wasn't going to wreck it for the most part. But what a lot of people did was they bought it from Best Buy. They got the Best Buy warranty, and because it was an item in the case, or it was considered a camera in a case, Best Buy would deal with GoPro to get a warranty on it somehow. So they were just letting people get the Best Buy warranty for 3 years for $50 on it. You wreck the camera, go into Best Buy, you pay deductible, you get a new one. I mean, it was a big deal.
They still have that, right?
Yeah, they still do have the Best Buy warranty.
I know this one is still under warranty. The other one I have is not.
Right, and then it's pretty much no questions asked for the most part, right? You just go in, it's busted, they don't care. they'll take it
Like-
back.
This one's got a cracked screen on the back. Probably can't see it. Well, maybe you can.
Not
It's
really.
But
kind
it's
of a
not-
loophole, honestly. Oh, I
Uh,
got a little crack there. Oh yeah, I see a little
That
crack.
looks a little. Oh, okay.
I see what you're talking about. It's in the corner there.
I tell you what, man, if you send it
Yeah.
in to DJI for repair, you'll have a bigger crack when it comes back and they'll charge you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
On
yeah.
the flip side, Jim should have taken that Matrice into Best Buy and got his money back.
Have you ever
You know
seen
what
have you seen a Matrice in a Best Buy?
On the Hero 8, I did buy that the piece of glass that glues on top of that,
Mhm.
and they call it protective glass. I don't know if it really protects anything, but it
Ugh.
makes it harder to actually touch the screen, for it to control it, because now it's not. But I had to buy it because
You
it
said
has
Dad's
no
getting
way
off.
to
Dad's
protect
getting off,
the
so he'll
front
go to bed and I can stay up.
camera cover.
Sorry, Jim. I can hear Braden in the background going. I thought I heard him saying, "Dad's going to bed soon. Then we can raise hell."
I tell you what, I'm worried about. Talking about Jim's issue with this stuff. I'm worried if I ever have to send these in for repair. That would be wild if I ever have to do that. Oh. You know what's funny? I've had to send my fact charts in for repair before.
No, by
Well,
the time that happens, the actual mothership will just teleport the goggles straight up, and then they'll get repaired and be back in like 15, 30 seconds. Because they'll admit that DJI is really aliens by then.
You know,
With
that was
the
actually
latest
a great.
with the latest spyware.
That was actually a crazy experience shipping it into Fat Shark. Those goggles went to and from California like 3 times before they were actually fixed, and it actually took them a hell of a long time for them to fix my goggles. It was not the best experience. It was not the best experience.
well,
We got to that point of the show where everybody just hit that awkward pause and stared off into space.
we're pondering these great rants, and
That's right.
I think Jim's rant takes first prize tonight as far as having the
Oh my God,
issue.
Ron's rating rants.
Yeah,
You
Jim-
just stuck. You're at their mercy. You really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
well, then what's the second best rant, Ron?
Yeah,
Well,
what was the
that's
second? There
great.
you go. There's the good.
Can I have the nominate? Can you read the nominations to me again?
You were the one giving out awards. You were the one that had the nomination list.
I want the rants ranked right now. Top 3 rants from tonight.
Well, John, your DJI goggle rant could have been in the running, but when it arrived at 5:00,
Okay, yeah.
kind of
Stop
put
being a friend. Stop being a friend.
itself out of the running.
Friend right now.
That's why his name changed to I Love Shipping momentarily.
I had a feeling he was going to pull them out. I really did. For
Yeah,
some
you
reason, I just kind of
You
knew.
knew they were coming out from number 1.
But then Gary,
Actually, it was deja vu because I just imagined I was on here with John and he takes them out and puts them on.
that's been the plan for like 3 weeks now. Keep waiting, man. It's been.
I'm waiting for my GoFundMe to send me mine.
That's the whole point. We got to get everything together, and we got to make sure that you're a fixture again, so that everybody knows there's a goal. Because again, we'll bring this up again when we found Nemo and brought him out from underneath that virus and brought him back on the show. We told everybody then that we needed to create a GoFundMe so that we could convert Gary to the digital age.
All right, so I have just one question then, Gary.
No longer be flying with the Wright brothers like Ron Brown. He would be,
Are you going to say that if I don't like this stuff,
No.
you'll buy it?
Okay,
No?
no.
Oh.
I already told you that.
oh, but he'll
I
take
was
it.
trying. I was trying.
I guess I need to up the chunks because it gets laggy when I got the chunks.
But if you buy a flight
I
one,
got the chunks.
Chunks. I got the chunks, man. I got the chunks.
Well, if I ever get better at FPV flying and I want to get that DJI kit, I'll have to ship to John's house so he can set the drone up for me.
No.
You know, the only thing that really disappointed me about the goggle unveiling was that
There you
John
go.
didn't whip out the knits.
Well,
right?
you
He
know,
didn't shut-
we had discussed the knit step by that point. John
He
didn't
didn't-
know about the
The thing
knits.
about it was if he'd have the way he had those goggles on, if he had whipped out the nits, I might even have tipped him.
If he would have shown his nits while he was unveiling them, it would have been perfect.
The ratings would have gone way up on this.
Okay. All right, enough. So anybody got anything else? Because we're kind of getting into that. I mean, can we make it 10 more minutes, or just can we come up with something?
I could squeeze the Tango 2 rant in. I could squeeze the Tango rant in.
Okay, go.
What is a Tango, John?
All right, so this is my new radio. This is called the TBS Tango 2. It's got folding sticks. Pretty cool. It's got Crossfire, which is a long range reception kind of thing. And I turned this thing on and plugged it in to charge over USB, and it just locked up with a red light. Couldn't get it to turn off, couldn't get it to turn on. I ended up having to open it up on the first day of ownership and pull the battery out to get it to unfreeze. So then I did it again, and the same thing happened. Thankfully, I didn't screw it back up. So I posted in the groups, and everyone's telling me, oh, man, it's probably the micro SD card storage. It's probably freezing it up. But the card was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So all right,
tell me so now we can do it.
We can do it. Exactly. We can do it. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, it wasn't the card, and Team Black Sheep actually had to issue an emergency firmware update to fix that problem. I applied it, and it has not given me an issue since. But the second batch of these things, if you order, and they're still shipping the second batch, you're pretty much guaranteed to run into that problem. So I actually ended up putting a real quick video up on my channel of what's going on, what the issue is, how to update it, and all that good stuff. Because the update process can be a little confusing too. And now I'm enjoying the radio as I should.
Sweet. That's cool.
Can you imagine your drone radio just freezing on you?
Hey, John,
was it because of the battery though, John?
I wasn't sure where you were going to go.
It was a power issue. It was some issue with the firmware that was causing the radio to lock up once it was pulled off a USB. And nobody knew what the problem was. Everyone was telling me your micro SD card must have been bad, because the first batch of these things went out with a card that sucked. It was bad. Almost everyone had to replace the card. So then they addressed that, and everyone just assumed it was the card, but I knew it wasn't. So I waited, and it's just a firmware problem.
You must have just got here. He was talking about how you had to open it up and pull the battery out, Eric. So,
hey, John, how does it fly? How does the actual radio fly?
Oh, it's really, really nice. I like flying with this, and you can pinch too. I actually may become a pincher with this. I like how it feels in my hand. I mean,
DJI, what's going on?
Give me just a second, guys. Just want to say thank you, Michael, for coming by. We're here every Wednesday. Come back and join us next week when we go full-blown rogue. Very similar to this week, and we might make even bigger asses of ourselves next week. So join us next week when we talk more about nits. Thanks, Mike, for coming by.
Yeah,
the Nitty Show.
Each drone is saying that sometimes you might need to factory reset. Yep, factory reset is needed sometimes, but this was a specific issue with the second batch E-drone. Apparently, it's just was a bit of a mess. If you have 1.11, it can cause a post-charge lockup. So, just craziness, absolute craziness. It doesn't inspire confidence. Imagine this. Imagine you guys take your smart controller out, you go to charge it, plug it in, and now the whole radio is locked up, and you've got to unscrew it on the first day. And this thing is $200. It's not as expensive as that smart controller, but still, it's like,
hey John,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
I had issues with my smart controller out of the box.
You had to what?
I had issues with my smart controller out of the box. I could not use it unless it did this firmware update, and I could not get it to connect to my internet connection. So I was stuck with an unusable controller.
So basically, out of the box, your smart controller was dumb.
It was. And these guys helped me get it going with dumb too. I finally figured out how to connect it to my mobile Wi-Fi. It did the update, and then after that it would connect to the home Wi-Fi. But until I could do that update, it wouldn't connect to the home Wi-Fi.
You gotta love this firmware stuff, man. It's just crazy.
Hey,
Sometimes.
love it or hate it, it's here forever.
Yeah.
So
We're
Edron,
beta
actually,
testers.
Edron, it's funny that you bring that up. Actually, after updating to that new firmware, I couldn't bind, so I had to update the Crossfire module firmware too. So it was actually a double firmware update. I couldn't bind to any of my receivers. I'm thinking, man, one of my receivers must be broken. But then they came out with a bug fix for that too. You know what? Normally, I don't buy beta stuff. The first batch of these, they had the issues ironed out. What happened was they put a new board in here, and there's a hidden feature on there. There's like a little ribbon cable or something that you can plug into a port on here. They're not saying what it is yet, but they changed the design of the board a little bit. And I think that's where these issues started coming up. Now, I always wait. I'm never a first batch person. I don't like to be the beta tester, but now I am. I got surprised. You got stuck with it.
Hey, John, can I ask you a question? Are there more issues with firmware and getting things to work together in the FPV drone side of things or in the camera drone side of things? Where do you run into the most roadblocks as far as compatibility and firmware issue problems? Which one is better or worse, or are they the same?
Yeah, that's a good question. Nemo, do you want to take that one? You take that one first.
Well, I think at least you guys can work that out. When we're with DJI, we're screwed.
I think a lot of it is you got more than one. You got more different firmwares trying to work together. You got your, BL Heli or BL Heli 32 firmware with your Beta Flight or Flight 1 stuff. So
yeah, I mean, Ron, it's crazy. It can be kind of crazy because a lot of people are running all different stuff. Beta Flight, the software that runs on the flight controllers, is not going to necessarily behave the same from flight controller to flight controller. It can be very different. So you got all these people trying to troubleshoot stuff, and you're not always going to find an answer to your particular problem. But because so many people are using it, there is a wealth of information out there. And like Jim was saying, you are not at the behest of Hubsan or FEMI or DJI to fix the problem. You get to figure it out and fix it yourself. And there's a lot of options to do that. If your drone's vibrating, then you can adjust your PIDs. You can adjust your rates.
There's a lot of resources too. You can find
with tweezers.
Just about anything, any problem you have with an FPV drone, somebody's had that same issue. They'll usually post a video on how they fixed it.
Look at all the flight controllers you can buy. There's a plethora of them out there.
And I tell you what, on DJI, Hubsan, all of that stuff. Well, DJI forces firmware updates, but I agree with this. The latest software is not always the best idea. Unless it's going to give you something that you need, don't go upgrade Betaflight. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I see new people who buy the bind and flies that I review on the channel. They go, they type, I updated to Betaflight 4.2, 4.0 was on there, and now I can't get it to work. It's not flying right, and I have to tell them, roll that back because you don't know how to make it fly as good as it came from the factory. And that newer version is not going to do anything for you. It's just not going to do anything for you.
If you don't know what's going on or what benefits a newer version is going to do, more than likely, if you're buying a bind and fly, you're not aware of everything that's going on with the newer firmware.
And even if you have your own build or you are flying a bind and fly and you like how it flies and you don't have any problems with it, and is it really worth it to upgrade to the newest? Not always. Hell, I was running 3.5.7 on my build until March of this past year. I was running 3.5.7. I only just made it to Betaflight 4.2.
So I just upgraded to the alphas on Flight 1, and I must say, wow, I was even more impressed with that. But Betaflight, I've done that. I've done release candidates before there, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
We're supposed to be ranting.
Well,
No,
you
progressed into rogue mode where it doesn't matter.
You have more issues on the FPV side, but they're easier to fix.
Kind of.
What? I was just talking and mouthing words. What? I wasn't trying to make anybody stop. I was just.
I don't know what you were doing. I was trying to look. I'm like, what's going on?
No.
here?
Everybody, see, this the whole point is there was three of us talking at once. So rather than me speak, I was just going. Give me some, yeah. Really?
I got my rant in.
That's what we need to do for like 5 minutes. We don't need to go.
Are we done? Are we done with the rants? Are we all good on our rants now?
I said we had kind of progressed into the rogue mode, so now we can talk about anything because, like we had discussed, we're not really going to set a subject. It's just going to be drone therapy goes rogue. Season 4, episode 26. Drone therapy goes rogue. Season 4, episode 27.
If we're going rogue, I need to put these on then, because according to you,
All I want to say
All right,
is,
rogue. Right, I'll be
you
right
brought
back.
those new, John.
Wait. Okay.
And if you have to agree to the DJI's policy of we will repair or replace, if you had a good set, it just had one, let's say just one of the antenna broke on the side there. You want your set back. You're not going to get your set back. But you don't know whose set you're getting back, and you're not getting a new warranty. That's my issue.
That's
You
right.
could get a setback that has coronavirus potentially.
Well, I could get a drone back that's got 200 hours on the motor. How would I know?
That's
Right.
true.
That's right, unfortunately, and you never know. And,
Right.
and you know what? This whole refurbished thing, all the tech companies are doing it because they've just been allowed to do it. It's for their benefit. I do hear people say it is for the better. It's for the faster turnaround time. Like
Right.
Drone Pool, for example. Drone Pool
I did already
had
ask
his
them.
Drone Pool had his,
No, I
and within the
haven't.
first week of ownership, it had
Exactly.
problems, and they sent out a refurbished unit. Now, couldn't they have just sent him a brand new one? Of course they could have, and the turnaround time would have been the exact same. But it benefited DJI to send out a refurb.
But what about the argument that these are FAA registered aircraft? You're supposed to know your aircraft, the maintenance that's been done on it, right? You know how many hours you got on a motor or something like that. Now I'm giving you someone else's replacement bird. You got no idea.
Jim, that's totally on point. And you know what? For Part 107 operators, that's all stuff you guys need to
Ron. I'm
keep
really
track
trying.
of. That's not going to fly with the whole warranty experience, at least
Yeah.
on their.
You could get it back next week, and then an ESC drops out.
Ron
Exactly.
needs to go, guys.
Yeah.
Ron needs to go.
Hey, can I interrupt for a second, guys? I got to run. I got to get a little something done before I head to bed here. I want to thank everybody in the chat that joined us tonight. We had a great group in here. I had great comments and questions, everything as usual. I want to thank Jim for joining us tonight. It was great having him on the panel again tonight. It was great having Gary back with us for another episode tonight. And John, always a great co-host. And I want to thank Bill for making me a part of this show. And I guess I will see you guys next week then. Good night.
Night, Ron.
Good night, Ron. You take care, bud.
And as you can see, my partner has now joined us.
Oh,
We're glad that you all could appear with us this week. And I'm very grateful that you all had me on. I just wanted to say thanks. I don't get out as much as I used to. I don't get on the YouTube.
Where's
I
that
don't
one
even
with
get
the Chewbacca? Where's the Chewbacca mask?
what is this?
no, why is it not?
You never seen that one?
You don't recognize me? I know I put on a little weight, but good God, man, I'm Batman. Can't you tell? Jesus. I know I'm wearing glasses. I'm a little older now. I don't really
You didn't invite me to the party.
like I used to. I don't. But
Hey, you guys like?
thank you for having me on. And I'm
You
going to
like my
pass it over
shirt?
to my friend Kong. Oh, he's playing with his knits. All right. Huh. I don't do this for everyone, but I will unveil and realize I'm not Bruce Wayne. I'm an impersonator. And all our corny jokes have driven John crazy tonight, in case you didn't realize that. So
They've been very nitty, Bill.
yes, and I don't know how well we'll survive drone therapy gone rogue. But we'll see in the coming weeks. That way we don't have to plan anything. We can just be completely and totally spontaneous.
With more epic rants?
Maybe not. We'll just have to wait and see. We don't know. I don't want to. I feel like we're doing the same stuff that everybody else does. It's like whatever's the news of the day. Like we were all talking about Parrot, but I want to do a spin on Parrot because yes, everybody's laughing at the $7,000 drone, but also Parrot brought up some really good points about DJI that they really weren't being as open as they should have been if they really wanted to show how their technology wasn't doing what they were accused of. And the DoD,
they're a smart company, Parrot. They're a very smart company.
So anyway, wait a minute. We just made one of his wildest fantasies come true. Watching a gorilla wearing a Caucasian shirt play with his nits.
Or Batman.
Oh, okay. We don't know.
Could be either or.
Yeah. Or it could have been a combination of the both.
Yeah.
He has a Batman gorilla fetish.
All right, this just got demonetized.
I can't.
Wait a minute. I'm not monetized anyway. I got a long way to go on hours.
I can't go to the party for some reason.
Oh, because I said fetish?
Nemo, you got a party going on over there? I keep hearing party.
No, it's just
There's a
great.
bug in his bio.
Blowing up in
Come on, essay.
Mindscape. Essay? Did he say essay?
I think
What's
he
that
did.
say?
Bill, I gotta jump out. I gotta go get something to eat. And
Well, I think all of us are kind of crazy, and we're gonna wind it up. So we will pass it around the room. Jim, you pass it whoever you wish when you're done.
Hey, thanks. What? Oh,
Yeah, here's a party.
Are you you said you had to go? I was highlighting you so you could tell everyone good night, and then pass it to either John or Gary.
No, I just thought you said, oh, no. I it seems like I've been complaining about this DJI thing for a couple of weeks now, but they're not listening to what I'm saying. You know, we're not getting our own drones back. They don't have their own, a new warranty with it. You don't know what you're getting back. They just call it repair or replace, and you are at their mercy, period. Totally different from FPV, where John was talking about. You could change out that flight controller to a brand new one in like that, right?
Around.
Mm-hmm.
Or the SCs or anything like that.
You're going to hang out for a minute. I thought we were.
Yeah.
You needed.
Yep, that's true. And you know what? When you send your Fat Shark goggles into Fat Shark, you get your actual goggles back. They actually do repair them. There's somebody who opens them up, and they do repair them. Yeah, mine went in. Mine actually. I'll just finish this real quick. What is going on? What?
I know Gary's got to get up early in the morning, and I know that we're talking about winding down the show. You know, Gary was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah," and then Jim was like, went back into drone discussion.
I know. I get crazy.
Well, we're finishing
No,
our rant.
I'm going to say that's perfectly fine, but I think Gary is willing to say his good nights so that he can get to bed and go play with airplanes tomorrow. Oh, wait. No, why did he take off? Jim left. Jim just disappeared. What? No, Jim. We weren't trying to get you to leave. I was gonna let Gary say goodnight and then bring you back so you and John could continue the rant. But that's cool. All right, cool guys. Glad that everybody.
All right, hey, thanks everybody. I'm glad to be back with John and Bill and Ron
and Ethan, even though he's not here.
Yeah, Ethan and Jim. It's the first time I met Jim. Seems like a cool guy. Sorry he's having all those problems, but it was fun.
We'll be back next week for Drone Therapy Gone Rogue and John.
Take care, guys. Good night.
He looks like the moth. He looks like the moth on the tick.
The fly. He looks like a new
fly.
Yeah, he does. Look, he's like a new flap.
Guys, it was great chatting with everybody. As always, it's great to be here. And thank you guys for sticking it out in the chat. We got 22 people in the chat. That is fantastic.
Yeah, considering that we usually wind down to like 13 by now.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys stuck it out all the way to the end. So that is amazing.
And we're getting very close to the 100th show where we're actually going to give a few things away. I'm looking into a new company. Let me share this with you guys real quick because I hadn't showed it to you. I saw Mikey on Philly Drone Life the other day was working with a new company. So I actually wanted to check into it. Let me get up here. It's called, the company's Redbubble, and they give you a bigger variety of products you can make. So I was making some, can you all see that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And but look, I can make clocks and mugs and travel mugs and water bottles and buttons and face masks and greeting cards. I was thinking about checking them out. I know, enough. Everybody's tired. Thank you very much, folks, for coming and joining us. We would look forward to you coming back and joining us again next Wednesday for more spontaneous, absolutely batshit crazy drone talk. And with that being said, I'm going to say, if I can get this lined up correctly, live long and prosper.